You think you know Albert Einstein, the genius, the myth, the man? But maybe there's a side to him that history books rarely reveal. Here are 10 surprising facts about this enigmatic figure that will make you see Einstein in a whole new light. But first, be sure to subscribe to the channel to never miss any video. Number 10. He took up speaking late as a child. Einstein did not speak until comparatively late in childhood, and he remained a reluctant talker until the age of 7. This fact, combined with his single-minded devotion to physics, his imposition of routines on his wife, his musical talent, and other factors, have led some to argue that Einstein had Asperger's syndrome, an autism spectrum disorder that affects language and behavioral development in children. Number 9. He did not actually do poorly in school. In truth, he excelled in physics and math from a young age and studied calculus while only 12 years old. He also knew his way around Greek conjugation and Latin declension. So how did the idea that he failed math gain traction? Possibly because, during 1 year of Einstein's education, school officials reversed the grading system, turning the numerical equivalent of A's into F's. Einstein did fail his first round of entrance exams due to extenuating circumstances. When the young man applied to the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology, he was a 15-year-old dropout who lacked the equivalent of a high school diploma. Number 8. He had an illegitimate daughter with a mysterious fate. While attending university in Zurich, Einstein fell in love with an older physics student, Mileva Marić, who would eventually become his first wife. By the standards of late 19th century Europe, theirs was a modern love affair. Marić was a remarkable woman, having overcome enormous social resistance to earn a place as the 5th woman accepted to the prestigious university. But for years after graduation, Einstein remained too poor to marry her. Earlier that year, in January, the couple had a daughter named Liesl, diminutive for Elizabeth. Marić returned to her parents' home near Novi Sad, today part of Serbia's rural Vojvodina region. There she gave birth to the child, after which the couple never spoke of their daughter to others, even friends. Liesl's fate remains a mystery to this day. The two prevalent theories hold that she died of scarlet fever or was given up for adoption. Number 7. He was a cad with a tumultuous family life. Whatever closeness Einstein and Marić shared did not survive long into their marriage, as their correspondence makes clear. Indeed, his own letters paint him as an unkind philanderer who neglected and mistreated her while openly enjoying several flirtations and affairs. One mistress, his cousin Elsa, would eventually become his second wife, although he also considered marrying her daughter, his future stepdaughter. Meanwhile, because he could not afford to support himself and his first wife in the case of a divorce, Einstein struck a deal with Marić. She would grant him a divorce, and he would give her and their 2 sons the prize money from his presumably imminent Nobel. Number 6. He had one heck of a year. 1905 was the year that E=Mc2 burst onto the scene too. In 1905, Einstein published 4 papers that rocked contemporary views of space, time, mass, and energy, and helped set the stage for modern physics, all while writing a doctoral dissertation and working as a third-class examiner in the Swiss Patent Office. Number 5. He mediated a hostage negotiation. The war left Germany devastated, deeply in debt, and facing social upheaval. During the turmoil that followed, radical students at the University of Berlin took the rector and several professors hostage, and no one wanted to take their chances finding out how the police would resolve the standoff. Both students and professors respected Einstein, so he and Max Born, a German-born pioneer of quantum mechanics, found themselves in a position to defuse the situation, which they did. In later years, Einstein would recall with amused wonder how naive they had been for never considering that the students might have turned on them. As with most scientific revolutions, Einstein's breakthrough insights on special relativity in 1905 did not arise out of a vacuum. His genius lay in how he transformed previous work by scientists like Henri Poincaré and Hendrik Lorentz into a new, unified theory, one that removed the friction between Newtonian physics and James Clerk Maxwell's theory of light. Published in 1916, Einstein's theory of general relativity completed special relativity by bringing gravity and acceleration into the picture through the concept of warped spacetime. Unfortunately, It took years to prove one of its key predictions, the lensing effect of gravity. When astronomers finally confirmed the bending of starlight during observations of a 1919 solar eclipse, it launched Einstein into overnight celebrity, but 3 more years would pass before the Nobel Committee retroactively awarded him the 1921 Nobel Prize in Physics in 1922. Einstein received the prize for the discovery of the law of the photoelectric effect. The photoelectric effect refers to the release of electrically charged particles, ions or electrons, from or within a material that absorbs electromagnetic radiation, such as light. Number 3. He co-invented a refrigerator. Einstein's crucial work in this area resolved perplexing questions regarding the particle-wave duality of light. Nevertheless, Einstein's acceptance speech focused on his work in general relativity, a problem that had occupied him for nearly a decade and whose importance would not be fully appreciated for decades to come. An incident in 1926 inspired Einstein to enlist the help of Hungarian physicist Leo Szilard in designing a new kind of appliance called an absorption refrigerator that required only ammonia, butane, and water, plus a heat source for the pump. They patented it in 1930. Number 2. He was offered the presidency of Israel. In 1952, Israeli Premier David Ben-Gurion offered Einstein the presidency of the newly established State of Israel. Einstein politely turned him down, citing advancing age and stating that his lifelong focus on objective matters had left him unsuited to politics. Number 1. His brain and eyes were stolen. Einstein intended that his body be cremated and his ashes scattered secretly so as to avoid the possibility of admirers making a shrine of his grave. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel. But when pathologist Dr. Thomas Harvey walked into the Princeton morgue on April 18, 1955, all of that went out the window. Presented with the opportunity to study the brain of one of the great geniuses of the age, and without permission, authority, or experience as a neuroscientist, he absconded with 2.7 pounds, 1.2 kilograms, of Einstein's gray matter. He also removed the deceased physicist's eyeballs and gave them to Einstein's eye doctor, Henry Adams. They remain in a New York City safe deposit box to this day.